Hello everyone, our group topic is about global car manufacturing industry. First, I will introduce it by highlighting three key aspects: geographic segmentation, market value forecast, and regional similarities and differences. First, in terms of geography, the industry is highly concentrated. North America accounts for 41%, and the Asia Pacific region contributes three, uh, 39.5%. Second, looking at a future market value, the global industry is expected to reach 201.7 million units by 2029, representing an 18% increase compared with 2024. This growth corresponds to a compound annual growth rate of 3.4%, reflecting steady yet moderate expansion as the industry transition towards electrification and smart mobility. Finally, there are both similarities and differences across regions. We will share the similarities in detail later. Differences are mainly reflected in scale, policy, technological maturity, and their role in global supply chains. Next slide. Next, regarding key players, I have listed some common car brands. Second, we observed two consistent patterns across the global markets. The first is electrification, as a shift from internal combustion engines to battery-powered systems has become popular. The second is intelligence. Autonomous driving becomes a new competitive point. Finally, the industry faces some challenges. One major challenge is the supply chain, which must transition from traditional engine components towards batteries, chips, and other high-tech parts. Another challenge is technology uncertainty. Neither the battery materials nor the power solution has been determined yet.
In this part, I compare the automotive industry across four regions using Porter's five forces. The regions are North America, Europe, East Asia, and emerging markets. I will explain the differences and some same parts. I will link them to technology, politics, culture, and social and money factors. Next page, please. Uh, rivalry is very different across regions. East Asia has the strongest rivalry because China, Japan, and Korea release new apps very fast. The T cycle is short, and government support app growth. Europe also has high rivalry, but is focused on energy quality and clean technology because environmental rules are strict. North America has more concentrated rivalry. Tesla leads apps and traditional firms move slower. Brand loyalty is strong and the market is grow up. In emerging markets, rivalry is mistake. Local firms make low cost cars and global firms compete in higher end parts. East Asia has strong battery and electronic suppliers, so supplier power is high. In Europe and North America, firms depend on global chip and software suppliers, which increase supplier power due to technology reliance and global politics. Emerging markets face even higher supplier power because many key parts must be imported. Next page. East Asian buyer care about the technology and price, so their buyer power is strong. In Europe and North America, buyers show more loyalty to established brands and focus on safety, so buyer power is a bit lower. In emerging markets, buyers are price sensitive, but cars can also be seen as a status symbol, which reduce buyer power. Europe and East Asia have strong public transport, so substitutes like trains and buses have a big impact. North America relies deploy on cars because distances are so long, so substitutes are weak. In emerging markets, substitutes such as two wheels and public transit and widely used. Entry barriers also vary. East Asia is easier to enter because supply chains are complete and costs are lower. Europe and North America have hard regulations and high labor costs making entry harder. Emerging markets have high barriers due to traffic and cultural preference for local brands. These differences come from different technology levels, political rules, control habits, and economic conditions. But the industry is also becoming more similar worldwide because of its online tools and shared environmental goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Jianwen. Now I'll share some points about profitability. First, profitability among global automotive OEMs remains low. The average EBIT margin of major OEMs fell to around 5.4% in early 2025, a decline of over 40% compared with the 2021 peak. Second, suppliers face even tighter margins. Lazard reports that the average EBIT margin across global automotive suppliers dropped to 4.7%. Third, regional variation is significant. The same study shows that the supplier EBIT margins vary across markets. 5.7% in China, 3.6% in Europe, and 3.4% in South Korea. Overall, low profitability indicates that the automotive manufacturing industry is a capital-intensive and cost-sensitive sector. Factors such as the rapid technological shifts, substitution rates, cost of raw material, and component dependence, and low-price competition are further squeezing profit margins.
Thank you, Jianwen and Zhipeng. Next, I will highlight the regional competitive advantage to the supply chain by using Diamond Framework. First, the factor conditions shows a clear division of capabilities. North America and Europe are R&D-driven economics leading in chips, software, and precision engineering. Strong capital markets, advanced automation, and highly skilled labor supports innovation. Although both regions rely heavily on imported materials. East Asia, seen as the world's integrated manufacturing center, supported by complete industrial systems, highly educated talent, strong logistics capacity, and high government funding. This region leads in semiconductors, batteries, and ICT, and has become the core exporter within the global car supply chains. Emerging regions, including South America, Africa, and parts of Oceania, mainly contribute natural resources such as lithium and copper, and have limited manufacturing capacity and weaker capital markets. Next slide, please. Second, demand conditions differ significantly across the regions. North America and Europe are mature markets where high vehicle ownership means demand is driven by replacement and a focus on safety, quality, and durability of the car performance. In Asia Pacific, consumers emphasize technological integration driven by the digitalization progress and cost efficiency by large urbanization demands. The Middle East shows strong preference for luxury and high performance vehicles due to the high incomes level, fuel economics, and limited transportation choice. Meanwhile, demand in South America and Africa is driven by affordability and accessibility, driven by the limited local infrastructure and lower purchasing power. Next slide, please. Finally, firm strategy and rivalry creates different sources of competitiveness. The US and Europe lead in innovation and sustainability with strong domestic rivalry among the global brands. East Asian firms rely on scale, vertical integration, and export orientation strategy, which shows a global manufacturing dominance. Emerging economies adopt policy-driven strategy, relying on the foreign investments and labor advantages. Next, I will move on to Annie.
Thanks, Tiffany. Next, I'm going to talk about why we stay similar or different across regions and why mainly driven by globalization and deglobalization forces. First, technology, especially transportation and communication, has been the biggest driver of globalization. The container logistics revolution in the 20th century massively increased international trade and sped up supply chains. This supported the rise of global value chains, better productivity, and higher GDP per capita, which raised people's expectations for more advanced cars. At the same time, information exchange became instant. Social media spreads car concepts globally, so people everywhere link SUVs to safety, luxury cars to status, and EVs to technology or eco-friendly values, especially with climate change awareness. Next, please. Thank you. These forces pushed the industry from full vehicle development to a modular Lego style approach. Global players now standardized modules, battery, motor electronics, which enables unified global platforms. For example, Toyota shares about 70% of parts worldwide across different models, and in the EV era, integration gets even deeper. The BYD uses a battery drive thermal fully unified system. Once EV tech passed the incubation stage, it follows a S-curve and spreads globally very fast. The result is greater similarity across markets and tighter global integration in design, production, and supply chains. Next, please. But the industry is still uneven, clustered in North America, Europe, East Asia, and resource-based regions. And this is where localization comes in. Global platforms, local adoption, EV platforms may be shared, but local rules, charging standards, software, and after-sales systems reshape the final product. Politics also makes regions different. Countries don't want to rely on imported battery minerals, so subsidies favor local supply chains like the US IRA or India's PLI. And culture also matters. For example, India's strong demand for sub-4 meter family cars shape product design. So even though architecture are global, the final cars remain deeply regional because of policy, economics, and local consumer preferences. Next, also we talk about the future outlook.
Thank you, Ernie. I'll now cover the main challenges shaping the industry over the next decade. So across all regions, we've identified 3 factors that will transform the automotive industry. Firstly is the rising sustainability pressure, meaning governments and consumers everywhere are demanding cleaner transport. And this is actually accelerating electrification and forcing firms to redesign products, supply chains, and materials. And we see this across Europe's strict emission rules and also East Asia's push for electric vehicles. Secondly, we have policy shifts and geopolitical uncertainty, meaning trade tensions, new industrial policies, and changing safety and emission standards are now raising global risk. And this is pushing car producers to diversify production and rethink where they source batteries, chips, and other critical materials. And finally, we also have automation and technology. So autonomous systems, advanced software, and connected vehicles are reshaping competition. As technology improves, consumers expect better features in cars, which force car manufacturers to innovate even faster everywhere. So building on those challenges, 4 major trends are reshaping future competitiveness. The first is electrification. EV adoption is accelerating worldwide, like my teammates mentioned a lot in this presentation. So with electric vehicles expected to overtake combustion cars by the year 2036, this favors regions like East Asia, where China and Korea lead in battery production, and parts of Europe with strong renewable energy capacity. And secondly, we also have the rise of AI and software. Cars are now becoming almost like computers on wheels, driven by sensors, automation, and connectivity. And this shifts competitive advantage towards regions with strong digital presence, especially like North America or East Asia. And thirdly, we have also supply chains that are becoming more regionalized. So that means due to deglobalization and geopolitical risk, companies are now localizing their production. For example, the US are reshoring their electric vehicle and battery manufacturing, and Europe is also building circular supply chains. And this change will actually change where the value is created globally. And finally, consumer behavior is also evolving. Cities are now shifting towards shared mobility and digital first car buying. So regions like East Asia and Europe are leading in this shift, but the trend is growing worldwide. So that means region must adapt quickly to gain a competitive advantage. Next slide, please. So to wrap up everything up, the future of the global automotive industry will be shaped by 2 major shifts. And the first one is growing technological similarity. So across major regions, the industry is moving towards the same main technology, which are electric motors, advanced batteries, and AI. So technology is becoming a shared baseline everywhere. And the second one is increasing regional differences. And that means different policies, resources, and consumer needs mean regions are specializing in different roles. Some regions might focus on high-end innovation, while others might focus on large-scale production or supplying key materials. So that means that there's no clear winning strategy. So overall, the most competitive regions will be those that combine global technologies with strategies that fit their local conditions. Thank you very much. We are happy to take any questions now.